one weird thing is when we sing Fucked Up Kid, because I'm singing Kid.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm singing it, the people that really still get that song, it's to them it's like the adolescent years, you know, where you're... But I'm not going to change it to like Fucked Up Man. Like, that sounds fucking stupid.
Right.
Hi. My name's Tony Lovato. I sing in a band called Mest, and I also sing in a band called London Falling.
This is quite a massive tour with a lot of like pop punk icons. So what's it like for kind of your first tour back in a decade to sort of tour with what I assume are buddies of yours?
It's good. It's cool. The two statements you can quote me by. It's good. It's cool. Let me give you more of a thought out answer. It's cool. The reason why it's different, or I think better than when we toured together in 2004, is because me and JT from Hawthorne Heights, when we toured together in 2004, we were cool. We totally hung out, but I was like started doing my own thing in 2004, constantly busy, just fucking off, and in like full just 24 years old, just party mode, just that sort of world. And then when we were setting up this tour, he actually reached out to me through like Twitter. We connected. Our agents work at the same agency, and so as we were setting up the tour, like as much as the booking agents, you know, were doing their side of things and routing things and connecting with people and stuff, we stayed connected. Like we literally text every day, where it was like, what do you think about this, what do you think about that? And he's a super easygoing guy, and I'm sort of the same way when it comes to like this type of thing, especially when you have three bands that well, you're headlining three bands, right? So there has to be a lot of compromise. So there's certain things that the Ataris want on the tour, certain things that and we're pretty fucking easygoing. But for the most part, you know, it was cool because as we started setting everything up and getting everything going, it was cool how much he was like the same way I am, where it's just like what works the best, what's gonna work for the tour, make sure everybody's fucking. It's, I guess when you get older too, it's sort of one of those things where like compromise and understanding, you get it more. Everybody's got their own things that they want. You respect that, and everything goes good. And so far, like, it's been awesome, man.
In an interview you did with Bayside at Riot Fest, you mentioned that Bayside had kind of like done things right, like they had families and kept touring and kept doing the music thing. Do you have any regrets about sort of taking that time off to, you know, do that part of your life?
No. I mean, I think not everything works for everybody. Everybody's got their own different ideas of what's going to work. And I knew that this is what we had to do. And I think the difference between what we did and what Bayside did was that I mean, our first record came out in 97, 98. I don't know exactly when the first record came out, but I would imagine it's a couple years after that. When we were headlining, they were opening up for us. You know, it was actually, I mean, Hawthorne was the support slot, and they were below them. So with the business changing, I think they sort of changed with the business and sort of kept going and kept pushing and kept going. And they had, you know, I'm not sure if they ever, were they always on Victory? I can't remember if they switched over. I know Hawthorne went to a different label. But I think, you know, they kept going and kept pushing. The music scene changed. They never had the the push that we had, in a sense, whereas like we did our own thing in the beginning. We did our DIY shit. And luckily we had bigger budgets to do records, to tour and stuff like that. But we were done, man. We had fucking put out, at that point, when we broke up, we had already did 5 records. So you do the math of any other bands out there these days and then go, okay, when did they start? What year was it that they did their 5th record, if they even made it to 5 records? And we were just done. We want, like, I don't know. We would have fucking, me and Nick talked about it a month ago or 2 months ago when we played a Chicago show, and he was like, it's probably good that we fucking ended when we did. Because realistically, probably somebody would have ended up dead. Like, it was pretty gnarly for a while. Like, we were just those kids that were like, let's do everything in an overabundance, let's have as much fun as we can, let's be kids. So, thankfully, we all made it out alive.
It has to be, I feel like, kind of bizarre to not tour for 10 years and kind of come back to 900 different kinds of social media that you can use to help promote your band or your brand.
Yeah.
Do you sort of think it's easier for bands to succeed now and get support? You know, they use crowdfunding to fund albums and stuff like that.
I wouldn't say it's easier because you still have to work to get the fan base. But I think once you get the fan base, it's easier to keep the fan base because you can stay connected with them on a fucking one-on-one level. And I was talking about this. I'm like, I got like maybe like 8,000 followers or something on Instagram. I'm like, if this would have been fucking 2003, 2004, I would have 500,000 followers or whatever fucking all these other kids have. And those kids don't even utilize it properly. Like, there's so many other ways to make money and to utilize that as a marketing and a business thing. And so I don't think that it's easier. I think once you get to the point of having a fan base, you can very easily then keep the ball in your court and put out records and do tours and stuff like that, marketing and stuff like that. But yeah, I think you have to get the fan base first, and then it's harder for us too because our fan base, they're a little bit older. They don't give a fuck about social media. Like, it's cool. Like, for us, like, I meet a lot of people and people have been the stories in this tours. I've been seeing you since I was 12 or. Like, we met, now we're married, and, like, these rad stories. But, who knows if the bands these days that are big right now will have the same stories, when they're 10 years from now, if they'll even be touring. So.
Right. And not only are you playing a full set with Mest, but your new project, London Falling, also played tonight. And your new EP is going to be 5 songs in March.
Yeah. Yeah, probably late March. I think we'll probably release it. It's just that we're doing a world tour with this thing, so I sort of want to go around and I don't know yet. We'll figure it out when we're going to release it. But as of right now, yeah, we're going to release it in late March. And like I said it on stage, it's 5 songs, and it's pretty much just because the guys in Mest, they can't tour anymore. And for me to record a Mest record and write a bunch of songs would be pointless because I'd write a record and put it out and we do 9 shows a year together, and that's fucking stupid. You can't make a record successful doing that or some, whatever. You have to tour on the music that you write. So I just sort of came up with that concept that if I want to continue putting out music and touring, that's what I had to do is sort of just put a new band name on it and keep going,
So
but it is the Mest songs, essentially.
Right.
But there's a little bit of leeway where you can fuck around a little bit more because there's a new band name on it.
Well, and you can do stuff maybe you didn't feel comfortable doing under Mest.
Right, exactly.
That being said, is this the last Mest tour?
No, because, it's the original guys aren't even doing it.
Yeah.
It's me and, some friends. And me and Richie, the drummer, we did a record together in 2012, a Mest record. But no, we're trying to plan something for the summertime in the States, at least, where we do like 9 to 14 shows, whatever we could fucking cram in, and they could get off of work because they all work.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Where we do like a 2-record sort of tour thing, front to back sort of thing. But we want to still do special occasions, weekend shows when we can, stuff like that, as much as we possibly can. And they understand that, like, I still have to go around and play the Mest songs for people that want to hear them too. So
I saw Mest in 2005 at Warped Tour, and like it was amazing. Like, I was super pop punk, and I think I'm unusual in that I've stayed in music and stuff. But trying to get like the older kids to come back out to shows that are not necessarily like nostalgic, is difficult. I feel like. Yeah,
I guess that would sort of be the reason why you start a new band and you sort of go, okay,
exactly.
Well, I'll tour with these younger kids and see if what I'm singing now. Although, like, because with the London Falling songs, it's a coming of age sort of. Like, what I'm singing about now is essentially the same stuff that I was singing about in my early 20s. So it's about a sort of coming of age, and where when you're younger, one of the things they tell you is like dream big, do whatever you want. Like you can reach for the stars, be whatever you want to be. If you believe in it and you work towards it, you can do it. And we're taught that. We're told that as kids growing up. Like, you want to be a scientist, a fucking rocket, whatever. Like, all the shit that they tell us as little kids and young adults. Then we get to the age of 18 where we're leaving high school and entering college or something. And we're done with college. It's like, well, all those dreams you had, maybe you should put them aside and go get a job. And that happens to everybody, and that's sort of the story of life. And so, I wrote a song about that, and the first line is, they teach us young to dream, but then they say to get in line. We all grow old staring at the starting line. So it's like we're always waiting for those dreams to start, but then they never start. And so I'm still doing the same thing sort of that I was thinking about as a kid, but it's actually more of an adult, mature perspective where I've gone through shit. And so that a young kid who's 15, 16 years old can hear those lyrics and go, fuck, like, have some relatability to it because he's being told that, and at the age of 16, you're already at that thing where your parents are like, if you want a fucking car, get a job, do this, do that, like, put down the guitar, like, So, I'm still writing about the same things, but with an actual life perspective of I've gone through it, I've done this, I've seen this, and in my perspective, and my thoughts is that you really can do whatever you want, provided you just don't give up doing it, and you don't listen to those people. Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Tony. I'm from the band Mest and London Falling, and you're watching NeverSometimesTV.
Fucked up visions in my head. I'm a fucked up kid, isn't what they said, but at least I